Okay people, so we got a couple stories to cover today. For starters, we got a story from Shonen Jump. Apparently they're really betting on and hoping on one particular series to blow up and be the next big hit. I think, we've been for a while now, at least the last few months especially, been hearing from Shonen Jump, the editor-in-chief, and a lot of different sources that they're, really seeking that next hit. I want to say it was even a couple of months ago where I covered a story that the editor-in-chief said that they're in desperate search of the next big thing, the next big hit. We know a lot of series have been ending recently. The Promised Neverland just got announced to be ending. Demon Slayer, one of the biggest hits that Shonen Jump has ever had. It's just an enormous, massive success. The manga just wrapped up a couple weeks ago as well. So they're looking for the next big one, and they're betting on one particular series. Also, the studio that is responsible for My Hero Academia, they're saying something regarding people submitting works to their company. And yeah, there's a couple things to talk about. Let's jump into it, baby.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
Okay, so like I said, for starters, Shonen Jump, they really want that next big hit. I mean, if you look at the magazine, I think they have some pretty big contenders or pretty big manga in general, like Haikyuu and stuff like that, but a lot of them are ending. Like I just said, we had Demon Slayer just end recently. The Promised Neverland just ended not that long ago. Haikyuu, I'm hearing rumblings that it might be ending soon as well, that they're in like some big end game. I don't know if it's a tournament or what's going on in Haikyuu, but there's murmurings that Haikyuu might be ending as well. There's some rumors, but I highly doubt that that My Hero Academia might be ending soon. I think more so My Hero Academia might be getting a time skip and potentially a rebrand. I don't see My Hero ending, but I think it's a testament that Shonen Jump definitely is ready to get that next big thing. To be honest with you, I still to this point feel like Demon Slayer was that next big thing. Like the amount of sales that it is doing, the amount of success the anime has had, the amount of success the franchise has had has just been astronomical, insane. Like I can't even believe it, to be honest with you. So the fact that they let it end, I mean, I guess it's great for the mangaka, great that she was able to end it for the most part on her own terms and shit like that. But again, that leaves a hole in Shonen Jump as to where do they go from here. I mean, they do have some big successes, of course. One Piece still going. One Piece will be around for years to come, and that's the flagship title for Shonen Jump regardless. So they still have that. My Hero Academia is still a big success. I think it's probably even bigger worldwide than it is in Japan, because My Hero Academia, I know over here in the West, I see My Hero Academia everywhere that there's anything anime and manga related. So they got My Hero. Black Clover is somewhat of a success. Dr. Stone is somewhat a success, but I think they really want that next smash hit. They want something that's going to come in and do something possibly similar or even somewhat close to what Demon Slayer did when it came through and wrecked shit up. So let's read this article and we'll talk some more. According to a recent article about the current state of Weekly Shonen Jump, the editorial department states they would expect Jujutsu Kaisen to reach 10 million copies in circulation by the time its anime airs, becoming a new hit for Jump. The article talks about how Jujutsu Kaisen became pretty popular at its beginning, having around 250,000 copies in circulation with its first 2 volumes and receiving several reprints. Not only that, but receiving unusual and of course good digital sales for a newbie mangaka, which is crazy that they're expecting it. And it kind of makes me wonder, well, when is the Jujutsu Kaisen anime gonna come? Because we heard the announcement sometime last year. We just got the trailer not that long ago, the teaser trailer for the anime. The studio Mappa and all of that jazz has just been confirmed, but it is really interesting because I know it does pretty well, but I'm wondering again, what's that going to mean for the release date for the Jujutsu Kaisen anime? Because I'm looking, and according to Oricon, as of right now, as of the recording of this video at the release, maybe there's some that haven't been updated yet, but Jujutsu Kaisen is sitting at 4.5 million copies in circulation. So if they're wanting that to basically be over double, I'm wondering, like, are they expecting a big boom within the next few volumes? Are the volumes doing that well? Or is it going to be that the anime is still a ways off? Maybe even though we just got the trailer, we might not get it till next year, January or something like that, for the winter 2021 season of anime, because I'm not sure how they're expecting this to be over doubled by the time the anime premieres. That's interesting. Again, it could be that this article was done a while ago. I mean, according to right here, it says it's a recent article, so it can't be that long ago. I'm just curious how they're expecting that. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen, it does sell well, but I don't see it selling 5.5 more million copies of the manga by the time the anime comes, if the anime is coming anytime this year. Maybe another 2 million, maybe even 3 million. But Jujutsu Kaisen, it's not like it sells a million of volume or stuff like that. But I guess there's also something to take into account, that we don't know what the digital sales are. And they're saying that Jujutsu Kaisen has had some abnormal, like irregular digital sales for a manga, which again, we don't have access to that number. We only have access to the physical print. So who knows, maybe digital is just enormous. Maybe they're already at like 7 or 8 million combined with digital. Again, once we have those numbers, we'll be able to say. But as it stands right now, I'm just curious that, wow, I'm excited, but also like interested in Shonen Jump really betting on Jujutsu Kaisen being the next big hit. I mean, it does have everything capable of doing it. It's a great story. I'm caught up to date with the manga, but I'm interested. I guess let me pose the question to you guys. Do you guys think that Jujutsu Kaisen can become the next big hit for Shonen Jump? For manga readers, I'm sure a lot of you will agree that it kind of feels like it's filling a void that's been empty for a while, to be honest with you, with like a Bleach type of series, because it definitely feels somewhat similar to a series like Bleach, but it also is like, you know, exercising demons and shit, and with Demon Slayer out the picture, it could grab a lot of that audience as well, so maybe that's something that they're accounting for. But either way, it's like, that's crazy. I mean, I'm all for it. If Jujutsu Kaisen blows up and becomes that next big thing, I'm here for it, because I've been into the manga since middle of last year, and I've been having a blast with it. I think it's awesome. Gojo for the win, baby. Manga readers know that when Gojo appears in the anime and people start seeing what he's really capable of, it's gonna get real, baby. So yeah, that's it for our first story. Also a part of that article, a second part of the article talks about Act Age and how a work by two newbie mangaka has been so impactful in different media with its different collaborations with brands such as JVC and its upcoming stage in 2022. I think they meant stage play, with auditions to look for a promising new actress. Both works have been praised with different recommendations, and I think they're still referring to Jujutsu Kaisen along with Act Age, because they're saying like these are newbie mangaka that are exploding. But both works have been praised with different recommendations, nominations, and awards, reaching several productions such as anime and stage plays. Jump's editorial department is interested in looking for more newbie mangaka that are able to produce series such as these. So Act Age, I want to say it got confirmed for an anime. Don't quote me on that. I believe it did. But either way, they're kind of banking on these two things becoming something big. And either way, again, I'm not really familiar with Act Age, but I know with Jujutsu Kaisen, I could see it happening. I mean, the void is starting to become even bigger as the time progresses, with more series leaving Shonen Jump and there being room for something else to explode. And again, for the final time, I'm here for it. Now, the second story we have here is the studio behind My Hero Academia. They also produced the Mob Psycho 100 anime. They also did Full Metal Alchemist back in the days, and Brotherhood, I want to say, as well. Studio Bones. Apparently, recently, I want to say, fans have been submitting stories and ideas and things like that to the studio, and they're actually asking people to not do that. People are speculating, and again, we'll get into the article in a second, that maybe some of that has to do with the big Kyo animation catastrophe that happened last year, where allegedly the dude that committed the arson was upset because he claimed that they stole his ideas for one of his series. So yeah, let's read this article, and again, we'll talk some more. Bones asks public not to submit unsolicited story ideas. Anime studio Bones releases a statement on its website on Wednesday asking the general public not to submit story ideas. The company states that, quote unquote, this is to avoid any unfortunate disputes or controversies that may arise from any coincidental identicality or similarities between the submitted ideas and intellectual property originally developed by Bones Inc. The request possibly alludes to the devastating arson attack on Kyoto Animation Animation Studio 1. The suspect, who was formally arrested last month, had alleged that Kyoto Animation stole his novel. The studio CEO, Hideaki Hata, stated in July last year that he'd never heard the suspect's name before, and no one by the suspect's name had submitted a novel to the company. Kyoto Animation solicits drafts of novels as part of its Kyoto Animation Awards program, and here's Bones' full statement in English. "We thank you for your interest toward Bones Inc. and its work. Please note that Bones Inc. does not accept suggestions or ideas from the general public. These include, but are not limited to, stories, characters, and names, marketing, or public relation measures/strategies. This is to avoid any unfortunate disputes or controversies that may arise from any coincidental identicality or similarities," and I hope I'm saying that, identicality, yeah, or similarities between the submitted ideas and intellectual property originally developed by Bones Inc. Please note that those submitting ideas or proposals to Bones Inc., despite the above, shall be deemed as having agreed to the following conditions. 1. Bones Inc. is not responsible for maintaining the confidentiality of the submitted ideas or proposals. Bones Inc. is not obliged to consider, evaluate, or adopt the submitted ideas or proposals. Bones Inc. is not obliged to reply to the submitted ideas or proposals. Bones Inc. is not liable in any way, including but not limited to liability for monetary compensation should any submitted idea or proposal be identical or similar, whether in whole or in part, to any title, project, product, or services of Bones Inc. Bones Inc. is not obliged to return the submitted ideas or proposals to the submitter. Any ideas or proposals submitted as hard copies via post or courier shall, as a general rule, be discarded unopened. We thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Which, to be honest with you, I would tell you, regardless from my own advice, that is never a good idea to send any ideas you have, any works that you're working on, unsolicited to these companies. There's a difference between like the opportunity that Shonen Jump recently unveiled that they're doing to the international public of like submitting to potentially win their contest, which even there I kind of still get a little bit skeptical, just because you never know what could happen. Once you send it in, I'm sure you're giving up a lot of rights and they could do whatever with your work. So I'm always a little bit skeptical, but especially in these situations where they're not asking you to submit anything and you're still like, yeah, I'm gonna send them stuff, you are risking everything, because even if you have a golden idea, an incredible idea, they could just simply take it, run with it, and not give you a dime. They could make it a Bones anime original exclusive because the idea is so crazy and there's nothing you could do about it. You could try and sue and all of that jazz, but that'll be, you know, these are corporations with a lot of money to be able to handle those situations. It's best to just not do that. If you want to get a work submitted to one of these companies, the best thing to do is obviously like hire a lawyer or something like that, or just do everything independently. Create your work, put it on platforms that you're able to do so. I'm not sure if Webtoons is open to be able to submit things or not. I want to say they are, but either way, grow your work and then eventually they'll come to you. It's similar to like the music industry. When you're trying to create a buzz and see if record labels reach out to you, it's always a better idea for them to be interested in you and come to you, because the offer will be greater. The ball will be in your court essentially. So yeah, please don't, for your own benefit, don't send your ideas or stories or anything like that to any of these companies unsolicited, because you could get ripped off, get your ideas stolen, and that'll really be shitty. Okay people, quick update. So as I was wrapping up filming the video, there's another story that I want to talk about. I was originally only going to talk about the Jujutsu Kaisen news and the Studio Bones article, but I'm really excited about this, and that's that a big announcement is coming for the series by the creator of Fairy Tail, his newest work, Eden's Zero. It just basically says Eden's Zero will get a weekly Shonen Magazine issue 29 cover along with color pages and an important announcement, which I have no doubt in my mind will be an announcement for an anime, which I'm really excited. I want to say the manga is either at 100 chapters or closing in or just about past, somewhere around there. I'm about halfway caught up, and if you hated Fairy Tail, I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I don't care for another work from Hiro Mashima, but from the 50 chapters I read so far, the only thing I can say is maybe early on in the manga there was some problems with having a lot of fan service, but as it kept going it started to be less and less. It's still there here and there. At the end of the day, the magazine that Fairy Tail is in has a lot of fan service and stuff. It's one of those type of magazines, to be honest with you, but it's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about 50 chapters in, I want to say, or exactly 50 I think, and from what I read thus far, I have a blast with it. It's similar in premise to Samurai 8. It's a, you know, sci-fi space adventure, but it also has like a lot of fun elements where you really enjoy the characters, you really enjoy the interactions, and it's like taking some of the good stuff that you love from Fairy Tail and Xing out a lot of the shit that you hate. Again, I'm not caught up, so I can't confirm that it doesn't get bad later, but from what I read so far, Eden Zero is really enjoyable, pretty damn good, and I'm really excited to say that a big announcement is coming, and more than likely it's going to be an Eden's Zero anime. I can't wait to see how it looks, because the art on this one, y'all know Hiro Mashima don't play on that art, and it looks fire. But I'm curious what you guys think about all of this stuff. For starters, do you think Jujutsu Kaisen or Act Age or both of them could be the next big hit out of Shonen Jump? Also, have you ever been like, you know, young and inexperienced, and maybe you submitted a work to one of these companies? And what do you guys think about the Eden's Zero announcement? What do you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be the anime? If you're an ex-Fairy Tail fan, do you think that you're going to give this a chance, or no way? Your overall thoughts of all this. Again, I'm rooting for Jujutsu Kaisen. I want to see it win and become a smash hit. And yeah, don't send your ideas unsolicited. You do not want to have a bad situation out of all of this. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave. Leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go, admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace.